Welcome traders to this week's watch list review with Spartan Trades. In this video I'm going to be breaking down my top stock picks for tomorrow, Monday, November 1st, 2021, as well as mentioning some stocks that have potential for the rest of the week. What we're looking at now, this is /ES pushing up into new all-time highs. So very easy analysis here. We see that we've broken the downward trend line, got the push up. This was the start of this run right here for the move all the way up into all-time highs, and we're still pushing, right? So just remember that the trend is your friend. So as much as possible, we want to be trading with the direction of the overall market. So for that reason, all of the stocks that I will be breaking down on my watch list for tomorrow as well as for the rest of the week, they're all bullish biased. All right, just to stick with the trend of the overall market. I'm actually going to do something a little different in this video. Usually I will start with the main stocks that I'm watching. This week I want to start with some side charts that I'm watching. All right, so number one will be FUBO, F-U-B-O. This is forming what's known as a bull flag pattern on the daily chart time frame. I will do all of my analysis in this video on the daily chart time frame. You could also consider this a cup and handle formation. What we're looking for is a couple of things. Either the break of 30.5 to see this start putting in higher highs, or the break of 31. So 31 is going to be your true confirmation that this is breaking out of this cup and handle formation or this bull flag formation. Whereas 30.5 is going to be your early alert that this is starting to put in higher highs and stopping putting in those lower highs, right? So if we go back to /ES, you saw this downward trend line that I drew here, where we were putting in lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. The moment that we put in higher highs, that started this run, right? So this is your most recent lower high, then that's a higher high, and there's your run. So for FUBO, F-U-B-O, the concept is exactly the same, just on a smaller scale, right? So we've been putting in lower high, lower high, lower high. If we get a break of 30.5, 30.55, we're putting in higher highs, and that could be the start of the run to break 31. So it depends on how you want to trade it. I'm just going to keep my alerts set at 31 and wait for that extra confirmation that we are breaking out. But a trade could be taken over 30.5. Just understand that if you are taking that early entry trade, that 31 is going to be a likely level of resistance. All right, so FUBO, this is just a side chart watch for me this week to see if it can even break out of this downward trend that it has been in, start putting in higher highs, get the break of 31, then we'll put it on the watch list. Number two on the watch list is going to be Plug, P-L-U-G. This is actually going to be a side chart item. Sorry, not on the watch list, but a side chart item for us. We're looking for the break of $40. So it has a little bit of room to run from where it's currently at, which is around 38.5 up to 40. So that means probably a couple of days of pushing, maybe even one day, depending on how much volume comes into the name. But over $40, there is a gap area from 40 up to 42. So what I will be doing is patiently waiting on PLUG to push up to 40 and close either right at $40, just under it, or just over it. Once that happens, I will put it on the watch list for a trade over $40 for the run to fill this gap up to 42. All right, so PLUG, just a back burner side chart idea for now until it gets up to $40. Number three is PLTR. This one had a pretty significant sell-off down to that 200 EMA, held that 200 EMA as a support, started to push up, reclaim that 50 EMA, reclaim the $25 psychological level. So we know that old resistance can become new support. So old resistance here and here, new support here, and then we get the bounce move up off of that support point. So what we're looking for is a continuation from this bounce move off of 25 and a break of 26.25, I would think. Newer high, we want to see higher highs put in for the run towards 27 to start kind of making up for this big drop that it had most recently. This is starting to look like a bull pennant pattern to me as well. Got to be careful though, because in the grand scheme of things, if we're just looking at this as a total pattern, it also kind of looks like what's known as a bear flag. I know that's kind of messy, but bear flag given this drop, but a bull pennant given this most recent run up right here. All right, so for PLTR, just have your alerts set over 26.3, 26.25, somewhere over this most recent high to catch the recovery move back up to the top side. The next side chart item will be Facebook, FB. I'm sure a lot of you kind of already know what's going on with Facebook as far as the name change goes. If you don't, look that up. It's very interesting. Facebook has really been beaten up here on the daily chart time frame. So it dropped from the highs at 384 all the way down to that 200 EMA, tried to hold up. Earnings report came out and the stock dropped into new recent lows, and now it's struggling to get back up and over that 200 EMA. So I've got an alert set just over that 200 EMA, just in case this starts to move up. But what I'm really looking for this week is a push up to the $330 price point. I'd like to see it get there, and then we'll put it on the watch list for a potential gap fill idea from 330 up to about 337, 338 area. So no trade on Facebook until it gets to 330. If and when it gets there, we will add it to the watch list for the gap fill play to the top side. The next few stocks will, they're very similar in their setups, and it's going to be very easy analysis here on these. So they're all-time high plays. These are going to be the ones that make the main chart watch list for us. All right, so number one is going to be Netflix. It's going to be a long idea over 692. You see the after hours price action there. I just flipped to the 5-minute time frame. So it'll be a long idea over 692. With these all-time high trades, I know a lot of traders are like, well, wait a minute, this looks way overextended, or the RSI is way overbought. Doesn't really matter in a trend that's parabolic. This is still running off of the earnings report news, right? So whatever was put out in the earnings report was good enough information for investors to continue to keep buying this up. Plus, we're trading with the trend of the overall market, which is also making new all-time highs. So sticking with the trend, we're going to keep trading these up if they keep making new all-time highs. So it'll be a long idea over 692 on Netflix. The next one is AFRM. Long idea over 166. That's going to be your all-time highs. I really like this setup. Out of all of the all-time highs setups that I'm about to mention, I really like this one the most because it's one that hasn't broken the all-time highs yet and given us a big run. I mean, it did break the all-time highs recently, but it pulled back, and we've got a lot of kind of chop and consolidation here. So when we get that confirmation, when we get that break, or if we get that break, I think that we'll see larger volume come in, because at this point, you see the volume here on average is still decreasing, right? So we're waiting for that big spike up and over that all-time high and big volume to come in and maybe give us a massive run like one of these days here in the past. All right, so AFRM, long idea over 166, probably my favorite setup for this week. Microsoft, all-time high idea. It's pushing up to 332 at the current moment, gapped up from the earnings report, so it's still running on news from earnings, and this one has been making larger moves than what it normally does, which has been really fun for us to trade and super profitable for us to trade as well. All right, so Microsoft just looking for a break of $332 for the move into new all-time highs. Hang with me, it's going to get repetitive. NVIDIA, same deal, right? Same exact deal. Gapped up, it actually hasn't reported earnings yet, but has gapped up and is pushing into new all-time highs. So we're again just looking for the break of 257 for the move into new all-time highs. Sometimes trading doesn't have to be so, or analysis doesn't have to be so extensive. I don't want this to get monotonous to you all, But it is very simple analysis as far as how are we going to trade these stocks. I mean, either they're going to make a new all-time high or they're not, right? And all that we are looking for is the new all-time high to be made. So ideally, this market, we don't want this market to gap up. We want it to open either slightly red or flatlined, so that way the trade opportunity to the top side that I'm presenting here isn't taken away from us by something like a gap up in the morning, right? Because if it gaps up into new all-time highs, then the next expected move would be a pullback at open and a reversal back up, if we even get a reversal back up. And that's not it's not the ideal situation, right? We're looking for the breakout moves, not the reversal moves. All right, Tesla is the next one that's going to be making the watch list. I would say that this is a long idea over 1115, but the after hours price action has pushed this up to 1130. So we're going to be looking for a break of 1130 on Tesla, and we'll be looking for this to hold 1100 as a support. All right, so that is it. We've got FUBO, PLUG, PLTR, Facebook, all making the side chart watch list. Then Netflix, AFRM, Microsoft, NVDA, and Tesla all making the main chart watch list, all 5 of those being all-time high trade ideas. Very simple analysis, but you know, it's just what is presented to us for this week. All right, so I hope that you make some money. If you have to, rewatch this video and take notes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Press the like button for me. I will see you all in chat this week. By the way, if you're looking to join the Discord server, the link is in the description. However, I have closed the Discord server back down, probably for another 2 weeks until we get the new members trained up with the way that we trade. Once those new members are trained up, starting to show signs of consistency and understanding and grasping the concepts that are taught within the Discord server, I will open the server back up for new members, but we're looking at about a 2-week wait at this moment. So what this does is ensures quality over quantity, and really differentiates the way that my server is ran versus a lot of these other Discord servers, and I think it's beneficial for everybody to do it this way. So thank you for understanding. Please stay patient with me during this time. I will open it back up. You just might have to wait a little bit. All right, take care. Enjoy your Sunday. Happy Halloween for those that celebrate that. Stay safe tonight, and I will see you all in chat tomorrow.